Modern e-bikes have rapidly outgrown older transport racks. We are now dealing with 70-pound machines built with large battery packs and thick frames. Strapping that kind of weight onto an older, hanging-style rack designed for a lightweight road bike creates a serious structural liability. It's a highway disaster waiting to happen. Then you have to factor in modern vehicle geometry. Automated lift gates and rear-mounted spare tires make getting your bike to the trail a frustrating logistical hurdle. Safely transporting gear today requires hardware engineered specifically to handle both the extreme weight of your bicycle and the exact layout of your vehicle. This brings us to the heavy-duty platform rack category. We're going to use the Wild Road 2-bike rack as our prime case study for massive utility hauling. The goal here is practical, helping you determine if you actually need a rack with a 180-pound capacity, or if you are needlessly over-equipping your daily driver. Looking at this quadra chart, we can map bike weight against vehicle geometry. The top right section represents the extreme transport category, heavy e-bikes paired with complex SUV or Jeep tailgates. Pinpointing where you sit on this chart is the difference between making a secure investment and dealing with an expensive daily hassle. A heavy-duty platform rack's capacity relies entirely on its connection point to your vehicle. This technical layout illustrates the strict input requirement. In the top left inset, you can see this caliber of rack demands a dedicated 2x2-inch Class 3 or 4 Hitch receiver. It is totally incompatible with 1.25-inch adapters. This specification graphic highlights the structural outcome of that 2-inch requirement. The top callouts clearly define a massive total weight capacity of 180 pounds, breaking down to 90 pounds per bike tray. Giving each tray a 90-pound limit means the rack comfortably accommodates the heaviest dual-battery e-bikes and fat tire models on the current market. The trade-off for that strength is bulk. The massive weight capacity means the rack itself is incredibly heavy, turning seasonal installation or removal into a sweaty, difficult chore. High structural capacity demands both a heavy-duty connection on your vehicle and a willingness to wrestle with a bulky piece of hardware. Moving past the hitch connection, we need to look at the actual hardware that touches your bicycles, starting down at the base trays. The bottom 3 circular cutouts on this image show how the ultra-wide 5-inch wheel trays are specifically engineered to swallow massive fat tire e-bikes and modern mountain bike treads. For casual riders, this creates a problem. Placing a thin-tired carbon road bike in a massive 5-inch tray requires very careful ratcheting down to prevent dangerous high-speed wheel wobble on the highway. This diagram shows the vertical stability system. The right circle details anti-slip plastisol-coated top hooks, locking firmly over the frame. On the left, twist lock knobs and Velcro straps secure maximum downward pressure with high wear resistance. The negative side of this design is that direct, hard frame contact causes paint rub and scuffing over time. It's a clamping method heavily discouraged for expensive, delicate carbon frames. This rack prioritizes raw, unyielding grip over gentle handling. It acts as a rugged utility tool, not a delicate cradle. The final major friction point of any platform rack is the risk of permanently losing access to the rear trunk or hatch of your vehicle. Notice how the extended drop shank pushes the entire assembly back. This creates enough clearance for the rack to bypass massive rear-mounted spare tires. This 3-part visual demonstrates the mechanical tilt feature. The entire rack drops downward at a negative 45-degree angle, allowing the driver to open the liftgate while still holding 180 pounds of gear. This side profile graphic illustrates the hidden spatial trade-off. The massive extension drastically alters your departure angle. On a steep incline, the rack is likely to scrape the ground before your rear tires even hit the slope. There's also a secondary daily annoyance. Even folded cleanly against the bumper like this, a rack of this size completely blinds standard factory backup cameras. You gain uncompromised access to your cargo space, but you sacrifice rearward visibility and off-road maneuverability to get it. We can map these extreme specifications back to real-world rider profiles to find exactly who should buy this. The primary filter is hitch size. A 1.25-inch receiver disqualifies this hardware. You need a 2-inch hitch. Next is bike weight. Standard analog bikes don't need 90 pounds of capacity. Finally, vehicle type. sedans don't benefit from extended shanks meant for spare tires. The ideal buyer needs to pass all three of these specific hardware gates to justify the purchase. The perfect fit for this rack is the overland SUV owner with two heavy fat-tire e-bikes who demands unimpeded rear hatch access. If you are a casual road cyclist or a sedan driver who values a lightweight, easily removable rack over raw weight capacity, you should avoid this model. Buying a 180-pound capacity rack for a 20-pound road bike isn't future-proofing. It is an unnecessary daily burden that makes parking and removal a chore. Match your hardware to your absolute heaviest use case, and nothing more. A high-end bike deserves high-end security, as long as you respect the physical limits of your vehicle's foundation.